I'm so excited about my first guest tonight. You know, it is true, I'm always asked, what's Steve Martin really like? And I always say, I don't know, you're his wife. But you can see him co-star alongside me and Selena Gomez in Only Murders in the Building, Season 4. Season 4 premieres on August 27th on Hulu. Please welcome Steve Martin.
This has got to be uncomfortable for you because you're the host and you have to interview me.
I know.
Your job is to make me look good, which you have never done in your life.
No, that isn't hard at all. First of all, you look. That's a beautiful, beautiful suit.
Thank you.
Because you've made money. Yeah. No, you really, Steve, you don't, everyone talks about this, it's true, you don't age.
Well,
and that's
yes.
the benefit of looking 70 since you were 30, but still.
Yeah. Well, I actually have a secret to not aging.
What is that?
And it's this. You appear on a television show once a year. Because if you wait 3 years, the audience goes, whoa, what happened?
No, but really, it is amazing how you don't seem to change, you know, because you're very pale. And but usually the pale, pasty people tend to age faster. Because you're white. You're whiter than a Michael Bublé concert in Utah on a pickleball court.
Yeah, okay, right. I'll tell you another thing about about aging, since that was our topic. But I've noticed, we have to take photos a lot, publicity photos, and I noticed that the photographer would start going, Steve, smile. Would you smile? And I'm thinking, I am smiling. What are you talking about? I'm smiling. Then I realized that as you age, your mouth tends to go down at the corners, so when you think you're smiling, you're really just neutral. So you really have to hit it.
So that's your normal face.
Yeah. And I was watching TV the other day. There's a show, Vera. It's an English crime show. It's
you all know Vera.
Yeah. Well, it stars Brenda Blethyn, who's
well, now you're talking.
Oh, jeez. and she's an acknowledged actress. She's been nominated for Academy Awards and Emmys and things. And it's been on for 12 seasons. And I've watched it every season. And so I noticed that season 13 was going to come on. So I start watching and I go, wow, the show is fantastic. It hasn't changed much. They've still got it. And look at Brenda Blethyn. She looks fantastic. And I'm watching and I thought, I think she got a facelift. And I'm looking at her because she looks great. I'm thinking, where can I find her guy? Because this is a great facelift. And then I realized I was watching season 1.
Hey, you know what I want to talk about?
What?
Your documentary.
Oh, yes. It's called Steve.
Yeah.
And we spent 3 years making it and 3 seconds naming it.
It is if you've not seen it, it's on Apple. It's absolutely spectacular. It's in 2 parts.
Yes.
The first part, Steve looks old, and the second part, he is old. I love part 2 opens with you. It's so like
poaching eggs.
Poaching eggs.
Well, this is something Marty and I both love poached eggs. And when we're on tour, we check into a hotel and we get different rooms, and we always, judge the hotel by their poached eggs. And sometimes I'll post it on Instagram, the poached eggs. So what I did was I found this egg poacher. And I'm not going to mention the brand because it'll look like I'm promoting something, but it was great. It made great poached eggs. And I said,
it was a plug-in. It was an electric.
It's electric. Yeah, electric. And I told Marty, you got to try this egg poacher. And he goes, I don't believe it. No, never. So one day he's there and I said, I'm going to show you. So I make the poached eggs and they're perfect. And he goes, wow, this thing makes great poached eggs. I said, now, that's very important. You put the right amount of water in, because if you put too much in, they come out hard, and if you put too much, they soft. So I recommend 30 cc. So I get them, I get him the egg poacher, and a week goes by, and I call him and say, how's the egg poacher doing? He goes, oh, my God, it's fantastic. These are the best poached eggs I've ever had. And then another week goes by, and I say, still enjoying the egg poacher? And he says, threw it out. I said, what? Why did you throw it out? And he goes, well, it wasn't working. It stopped working. I opened it up, and it would just be a mush there. So I threw it out. And I said, well, how much water did you put in? He said, water.
Not that bright, but you know, it means we do have a shared passion for poached eggs. You know, look, this is, you know, when you're in your 20s, you send pics, and when you're in your 70s, you send pictures of poached eggs. It's just different. But I literally I have 19 pictures of Steve. We're on tour. How about these today?
But also, as you age, pics and poached eggs are the same thing. Oh, yeah.
But, you know, this documentary is remarkable, and it is the first part of watching you with a theory of what comedy should be.
First of all, I got a very nice email from Chris Rock. He said, I saw the documentary, and he said it was fabulous, he says, but the real star. And I'm going, oh, this is going to be great. He goes, is your house. Oh. So the first half is about my early stand-up days, which are like the early 1970s. And I would work places like the Ice House in Pasadena, and it was just a folk club. And one day, and I was, 19 or 20. I wasn't very good. And one day I'm on, and I realized I'd been on for 20 minutes, and I had not gotten one laugh. And I thought, why not go for the record? So I was able to complete the show with no laugh.
Tell the story about auditioning for Dean Martin.
This was, Dean Martin had a summer television show, and I'm a young comedian, and I was going to audition. They requested me to go audition. And the way it worked is the producer was Greg Garrison, and he had an assistant who watched you audition, and I would do my act for her, and then she would go in and do it for Greg. I didn't get it. I thought she wasn't very good, I guess.
How about when you appeared at a drive-in with your new act?
Oh, yes. Well, that's when you're starting out, and there's a lot of challenges. And I was working a place called the Russian River in Northern California, and the performance place was a drive-in movie that you worked during the day. And so you're up there, and the cars would come in from their campgrounds, and they'd put the speaker inside their car, and then if they thought a joke was funny, they would honk.
I love the story about, first of all, Anne, your wife, is
My
so
wife is in the
gorgeous
documentary.
And
I don't tell this story in the documentary because it's lengthy, and you'll realize how lengthy it is when I tell it here.
We'll be back with more from Steve. No, I'm kidding. Here.
No, I remember the exact moment I fell in love with my wife. Are you familiar with the ornithologist John James Audubon? Yeah. And he made prints of birds in the late 18th century and early 20th century.
No kidding.
And he was a great master printmaker. Yes. So we're in a taxi in New York City, and it's just turning dusk, and we're driving down Fifth Avenue, and my wife looks out the window of the taxi and looks through an apartment window and sees a frame print, and she says, oh, it's the Audubon print of the roseate spoonbill. And I thought, okay, I love her. So now I tell this story. I tell this story at a dinner at my house, and my wife is there, and a few people there, and I tell the exact moment I fell in love. And she says, well, that's a true story, except we were already married.
All right, more with Steve Martin after this.
Whatever, I'm gonna go check out Ben's penthouse. Lester said that Dickie was gonna be cleaning it out soon. You find someone who doesn't have a hanky.
Find someone who doesn't have a hanky. I can do that. That's no biggie. That's a smallie. That's a very small thing. Because it's a, I say, hey, a thanky for a hanky?
Do we love Selena Gomez?
Selena is so fantastic and so good in the show.
So good in the show.
She's like the sober counterbalance to you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We have just finished filming our 4th season, which will premiere on Hulu August 27.
Wow.
And
Oh, yeah, look at that.
look at that. Look at that cast.
Well, the
Eva
premise-
Longoria, Selena Gomez, Eugene Levy, Steve Martin, Martin Short, and Zach Galifianakis. Can we tell them what the premise of what?
Oh, the premise is that they're going to make a movie of the three of us. Our podcast made it to Hollywood, but they've cast other actors to play us.
That's right.
Yeah.
So obviously Eugene Levy's playing Steve, and and Zach, and they say to Eva at one point, I guess we can just do this one joke that makes me laugh, that Eva Longoria in a party takes Selena aside and says, "You must wonder why they've cast older with your character. The studio felt that it was just too creepy someone your age would hang around with those old guys."
You remember last year we had Meryl Streep this year too. We have Meryl Streep this year. And last year, the scene was that we're putting on a play. So the scene is we're all sitting around a table read like they do in Hollywood. And this is how good an actress Meryl Streep is. So she sits down and we all open our scripts. And Meryl says, "Before I start, I just have to say, thank you so much for having me. And I love working with all of you." And our showrunner, John Hoffman, said, "Well, Meryl, we feel the same about you." And I said, "John, that's Meryl's first line."
I remember the first day she was working, and Selena was very excited, as we all were. And I said to Selena, "Do you realize she's been nominated for 19 Oscar nominations?" And Selena said, 21. 21. Now, here's what I do love you very much, as you know. It's true. And I wonder, we've formed this great team, this partnership, and I'm wondering, like, we're like Florida and a lower back tattoo. We go together. And I'm wondering...
Why Florida? I've never understood that. Anyway, go ahead.
What do you mean I just made it up?
Yeah.
No, but I'm saying, why do you think it is that we...
Well, you know, I thought this might come up. And what I did, I was having lunch this afternoon, and I wrote down a few of the things that I really, really love about you.
That is so funny, because I did the same thing. I wrote
really?
some of the things I like about you.
Really?
Should we... What's that?
Hey, your cocaine fell out.
Oh. All right, then.
Yeah.
Let's read some, shall we?
Sure. What I
even
love
look-
about you, Marty, is
What?
that you're always very, very kind to me and to whomever you meet.
Well, that's lovely, because I love that you will pay the top dollar for clean urine.
I love that when we finish a show, you always come off and say, "Wow, Steve, you were really good tonight." And I appreciate that.
Oh, well, that actually brings me a little misty. I love how you have no problem walking up to women on the beach and circling their problem areas.
I love how Marty can't pass wet cement without drawing a penis.
It's my thing. I love that you can tell a stranger's net worth just by spitting on him.
I love how when anyone mentions their wife, Marty isn't afraid to say, "I had her first."
Well, this is really true, and this means a lot, because every time we have ever gone to a restaurant, at any time, you always know the female server's name, no matter what city we're in. And what's amazing is that A, you know their name, and B, they're all named Dollface. So, all right, enough of these.
No. Boy, I'll say.
Well, anyway, okay, well, Steve, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I love that you came to do my first show.
I love that I, got into traffic, got all sweaty, and got here and got nervous and worried. And anyway, good.
Well, you should have. You should have been. Thank you, Stephen. Season 4 of Only Murders in the Building premieres August 27th. And we'll be back with Sienna Miller.